Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi is very, very famous. And it is said that one time Srila Vyasadeva was actually telling the Pandavas that, in fact, uh, Bhima asked Srila Vyasadeva, and Srila Vyasadeva is the grandfather of the Pandavas. If you may actually recall, he was the father of Vichitra Virya, and he was, because of him, he was the grandfather, like the father of Pandu in one sense, because Vishitravirya was not able to um, impregnate, and so Srila Vyasadeva actually did that. So, as the grandfather, Maharaj Yudhishthir was asking that if we want to go to the spiritual world, can we go to the spiritual world without observing all the rules and regulations of the Ekadashi? Of course, if we want to go to spiritual world, we have to do a lot of austerities. And in our case, it is on the basis of the recommendation given by Srila Prabhupada. But at the same time, he said, what is another way without following rules and regulations? And we follow rules and regulations because Srila Prabhupada has asked us to do that. And if we follow Srila Prabhupada's words, Srila Prabhupada said, you'll go back home, back to Godhead. And so Krishna will make sure that that happens. So that is extremely important in our case. But here, uh, Bhima is asking, is there any other way without rules and regulations? Because he said that every Ekadashi, my wife, my brother Yudhishthir, my mother Kunti, my beloved wife Draupadi, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev, they all like fast completely on all Ekadashis. And they strictly follow all the rules and regulations. But they tell me I should also fast. But I'm not able to fast on those days. What can I do? So because I cannot really live without eating. And he said, and Srila Vyasadeva agreed, yes. Do you know why you cannot live without eating? Because you're the son of Vayu. And in our body, there is a Vayu called Samana Prana. Samana Prana is the digestive air. And because of that, that hunger is unbearable for uh, Bhimasena. So Bhimasena said, I can give charities. I can give, I can please Lord Krishna in so many different ways. But by this fasting on Ekadashi, that's very, very difficult for me. Please, how can I get some more result without fasting? Tell me that. So Srila Vyasadeva said, well, look, do you want to avoid do you want to avoid hellish planets? He said, yes. Do you want to also go to the heavenly planets? I said, yeah, but I want to go to the spiritual world. He said, then you must observe this fast on both the Ekadashis every month that comes. So Bhima said, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. My dear grandfather, my dear intelligent grandfather, my dear great saintly intelligent grandfather, I'm trying to explain to you. I cannot do this. I cannot, if I eat only once in a day, how can I how can I fast? Because I'm Vrikodara. Vrikodara, Srila Prabhupada translates that in Bhagavad Gita. He says Bhima is Vrikodara, which means one who eats a lot and performs Herculean tasks. This is Srila Prabhupada's translation. At the same time, Vrika is the fire of digestion. And so, in that sense, uh, therefore, Vrikodara is the fire of digestion, and that fire resided in Bhima's stomach. So he said, only when I eat for my full satisfaction, I am able to, my stomach becomes satisfied. So I can only fast once in a year. You tell me which day I should fast. Is there any Ekadashi that you can tell me that I can fast just one day? Because after that, I just cannot tolerate the the agni that is there in my body, in my the fire of digestion, the hunger, the vrika, the samana prana. Please, you tell me once a year, and I will very faithfully observe this wonderful fast. So Srila Vyasadeva said, okay, well, uh, you've heard from me all of this, all of these different kinds of occupational duties that I've told you, all the Vedic ceremonies, the pujas that I've told you. But in Kali Yuga, no one will be able to perform these. No, not at all. So I'll tell you in Kali Yuga what is practical. Where at practically no expense, just by a simple small austerity, we can achieve the greatest benefit and happiness. Now, the essence of what is written in the Vedic literatures, Srila Vyasadeva said, especially in the Puranas, because how did the Puranas come? First, Srila Vyasadeva wrote the Vedanta Sutra. That's all. Vedanta Sutras are one line instructions which have lot of wisdom in that one line. For example, the first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra is what? Athato Brahma Jigyasa, which means now therefore inquire into the absolute truth. That's the first aphorism. It starts with therefore. Have you ever read a book which starts with therefore? Generally, the the conclusion of the book is generally therefore. The book starts with some premise, and then it goes into the main plot, and then therefore is the conclusion. But here, the Vedanta Sutra is the first aphorism. It starts with now, therefore, atha ato, Brahma Jigyasa, inquire into the absolute truth. Why? Why do they say therefore? Now, because this Vedanta Sutra can only be heard and read by a human being. So what they are saying is now that you have acquired this human form of life, therefore inquire into the absolute truth. So this is the first aphorism. Like that, there are many aphorisms, lot of things. What is absolute truth? There, atha atu brahma jigyasa. Now, therefore, inquire into absolute truth. What is absolute truth? All of this wisdom is into one small phrase. And only high-class brahmanas could actually understand this Vedanta Sutras. Normal people just, even if they would read it, they would like, what's going on? What is the author trying to tell? Now, therefore, inquire into the absolute truth. Now, there are people today, atheistic minded people, they say, oh, there is nothing called absolute truth. Their aphorism is, there is nothing called absolute truth. If we actually examine this statement, there is nothing, there is no absolute truth. If we ask them, okay, is this statement, there is no absolute truth, is that an absolute truth? If yes, then you have proved there is absolute truth. It's contradictory to your statement, there is no absolute truth, because this itself is absolute truth. And if you say, no, this is not absolute truth, then that means the statement that there is no absolute truth is false. That means there is absolute truth. So the statement there is no absolute truth in itself is contradictory to what it's trying to prove. So the Vedas are actually, Srila Vyasadeva wrote just these Vedanta sutras. Only very highly intellectual, pure-minded people were able to understand, and this import was revealed to them. So then he said, okay, the normal people are not able to understand. Let me explain these Vedanta sutras in the form of the four Vedas. So then he actually had created one Veda which explained all of these, and then again made into four Vedas: Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Samo Veda, Rig Veda. And still, people were not able to understand. Maybe a little more intellectual people were able to understand more of them, but not everyone. So then, to explain that, he wrote the Puranas, which were actually, he wrote the Upanishads. Upanishad means to come near the feet of the spiritual master and learn. So it was a further explanation by the spiritual masters on Vedanta Sutra and the four Vedas. But still, people were not able to comprehend some of them. So he explained further in the form of the Puranas, which are histories. There are 108 Upanishads, but there are 18 Puranas based on lives of people who are following the Upanishads, the Vedas in their life. There were 6 for people in the mode of goodness, 6 Puranas for the people in the mode of passion, 6 Puranas for the mode of people in the for people in the mode of ignorance. And so 18 Puranas explain that. Bhagavad Purana is one of the 6 Puranas, the topmost Purana of the 18 Puranas. And of course, we know the story how he was inspired, Srila Vyasadeva was inspired by Narad Muni to write Srimad Bhagavatam. But he also then still wrote Mahabharata before writing Bhagavatam. And all of this is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, and he is telling Bhima, look, the essence of what is written in Vedic literatures is known as the Puranas. Purana, the essence of what is in Purana is what? This is the author of the Puranas saying, B2 Bhima saying, what is the essence of Puranas? That one should not eat on either the dark or light fortnight Ekadashis. Ekadashis, one should not eat. This is the essence of the Puranas. This is what Srila Vyasadeva said. And of course, we know that the essence of the Puranas, the Bhagavad Purana itself, the cream of Vedanta philosophy, is full surrender of Sri Krishna or devotional service of Sri of Sri Krishna. Excuse me. So, following Ekadashi is one of the devotional practices by which we can please Krishna. And in that process of surrender to Krishna, which is the essence of all Puranas, essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is aided by following Ekadashi. That's why Srila Vyasadeva said the essence of what is in the Puranas is one should not eat on Ekadashis. But he was just trying to emphasize how it aids in devotional service. And one who fasts on Ekadashis, then they are saved from going to hellish planets. Hearing this, Bhima saying, he was the strongest of all warriors with his gada. He became frightened. He began to shake like a leaf. Oh my God, my dear grandfather, Vyasadeva, what should I do? I I cannot fast twice a month every year, 24 times. Please, can you tell me one day that can help? So then Srila Vyasadeva said, okay, without drinking even water, not just fast, with foods or fast on grain, from grains, not even water. You should fast on the Ekadashi that occurs during the month of May when the sun is in the heat. And on this day, if you bathe, perform Achaman, but only while performing Achaman, you can take that much amount of water that is immersed in a single mustard seed. That's it. Just put some water from the palm and just that much. Only one drop of water, as much as a mustard seed, and then uh, make a palm which resembles the cow's ears, how the ears of the cows are, like that, and then sip. So only for performing Achman you can do, but otherwise, no drinking water, no eating, and actually it should be from the sunrise on the Ekadashi day to sunrise on the Dwadashi day. So again, like this, if you do, then you will easily, hear this carefully. Then Srila Vyasadeva said, if you perform Nirjala Ekadashi, you will achieve the result of observing all the Ekadashis during the year. So there is no doubt about this. This is what Srila Vyasadeva told the son of Vayu, Bhima. So this is extremely important, and Srila Prabhupada has told that um, fasting on Ekadashi, the purpose of fasting is so that the time that we can get, we can engage in the service of the devotees, of reading and hearing and chanting Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting the holy names of the Lord, and perform more devotional service. That's the purpose of fasting. When Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his mutt, there were a lot of devotees. They had gone for preaching. And then one devotee was just sitting in the ashram, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked, what happened? Why are you not out preaching? And he said, my dear Guru Maharaj, I'm fasting today, so I'm not having any strength to go out. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur became grave, and he said, if you're not able to engage in the service, then better eat and go out and preach. So we should understand what is the purpose of this fasting. It's not just something ritualistic. So in this way, we can understand how Srila Vyasadeva told Bhima. And then Srila Vyasadeva said, my dear Bhima, look, I will tell you how specifically one gets the merit by fasting on Ekadashi. Because Krishna, he personally told me, Vyasadeva telling, he personally told me everyone should follow Krishna's instructions, take shelter and follow Krishna's instructions. Then he also told me that one who fasts on Ekadashi without taking even drinking water or eating becomes free from all sinful reactions. And one who observes the difficult Nirjala fast on this Jeshta Shukla Ekadashi truly reaps the benefits of all other Ekadashi fasts. So it is not that it was created specifically for Bhima. This is Krishna himself telling Vyasadeva much before. It just became Pandava Nirjala because it was popularized when the Pandavas came to know about it. But this Nirjala Ekadasi on this Jyeshtha Shukla Ekadashi, it always was empowered by Krishna himself. And he said, especially in Kali Yuga, this becomes very important because in Kali Yuga, this is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Everyone is quarreling from all the way down, all the way up, from the micro level to the macro level. And all the principles of the Vedas are destroyed. No Vedic principles or ceremonies. And at that time, this fast on Ekadashi comes to rescue one, to free one from past sins. And that's why this is called Nirjala, no water at all. So, my dear Vrikodara, voracious eater who performs Herculean tasks, whoever fasts on this Ekadashi receives the merit of bathing in the places of pilgrimage, receives the benefit of giving charity to all different kinds of worthy persons, and the merit of fasting on all the other Ekadashis in one go. So this is the glory of the Ekadashi Vrata. Because when we eat grains on Ekadashi, then that becomes contaminated by sin. On Ekadashi day, the Papa Devta enters into the grains. And so if we eat any grain, we only eat sin. And but and therefore they actually are bound for hellish existence. But if someone discovers or observes this Jyeshta Shukla Ekadashi and gives something in charity, then there is also chance of liberation from the cycle of repeated birth and death. In fact, it is said, observing this Ekadashi, which is merged with the Dwadashi, it frees one from a few things. The horrible sin of killing a Brahmana, drinking liquor or wine, becoming envious of one's spiritual master, and ignoring his instructions, and continually telling lies. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 things you can get liberation from. Of course, we should not uh, take undue advantage or exploit this particular mercy that is coming through this by saying, okay, I'll just go on telling lies. I'll ignore my spiritual master. I'll drink wine, liquor, and then I'll observe the Ekadashi every year. I'll do that. I'll do that. But that is called Kunjara Shauchavat, bathing like an elephant. So we should try to uh, make sure that we are sincere. If accidentally we have done, then definitely this will help. And then there are more glories. After, before we break fasts, if one satisfies a qualified brahmana with sweets, donation of, here it's mentioned cows and money, but in any kind of donation, then Krishna is pleased. And how pleased is he? Krishna actually 100 previous generations go to the supreme abode. Even though they may be sinful, even though they may have had bad character, even though some may be guilty of suicide in the previous generations, but still, because one person in their family has observed this Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi, all of this happens. And due to this Ekadashi, that person will ride on a celestial airplane to the Lord's abode. There are some minor benefits as well. There are some benefits which you do, we can go to heavenly planets. That's not our goal, but that's what's also mentioned. If someone gives a charity to a brahmana of a water pot or umbrella or shoes, then they go to the heavenly planets. And there is something for all of us who are hearing these glories. If someone simply hears these glories, we also attain to the transcendental abode of Lord Vishnu. It is also said, if we perform Shraddha ceremony to our forefathers, then there is great merit. But that same merit can be achieved by performing Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi, like performing Shraddha ceremony for our forefathers. So one should, the process that is given here by Srila Vyasadeva is one should clean the teeth properly, without eating, without drinking, observe this Ekadashi. And on the day after Ekadashi, one should worship the form of Krishna as Trivikrama. Trivikrama is Vamanadev, the one who, with 3 steps, he conquered the entire universe. Trivikrama. How? How we should worship him? Offering water, flowers, incense, and a bright burning lamp. In other words, offer arti, the full arti that we are supposed to do, we do to Vamanadev, to Trivikrama. And then one should pray from the heart, my dear Lord, my dear deliverer of the fallen souls, of everyone, my dear Rishikesha, you are the master of senses. Please kindly bestow to me, upon me, this gift of devotional service, of liberation, of bhakti. Although I cannot offer you anything more than this humble pot filled with water, please accept this and please award me liberation, the highest form of liberation being devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. And then that water pot should be donated to a brahmana. This is exactly how we are supposed to do. Of course, if we follow the essence of it, that's even good. But ritualistically, this is what is said. And after donating this water pot to a brahmana, then according to one's ability, the devotee should feed the brahmanas, and then on Dwadashi, feed the brahmanas, and then honor prasadam. So this is how we break the fast. Next day, we perform arti to specifically Trivikrama in his form as Vamanadev, and pray to the Lord, offer this humble pot of water, give that pot to a brahmana, serve, the devotees and brahmanas, and then honor prasad, break fast on Dwadashi. And and then he ends. This is all explained in the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, where it's actually called as Bhimasen Nirjala Ekadasi. We call it Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi, but there it's called Bhimasen Nirjala Ekadasi. And he said, I strongly urge you, very strongly, that you must fast on this Ekadashi, which is so auspicious, so purifying. It is sin devouring. And then you'll be freed from sins and reach the supreme abode. So this is like the silver lining. Even if we may have unknowingly and unknowingly, so many sins have been committed, not only in this life, but in previous lifetimes. All of that, this is an opportunity to purify that so that we and everything, the effects of those sinful activities that are stopping our devotional service, hindering our devotional service, can be removed, and we can go faster. Tivrena bhakti yogena, with more intensity, be able to perform devotional service. Because it is said that one time there was a king, and this king said he had a diamond, very beautiful diamond, but that diamond had a flaw. What was the flaw? The flaw was that the diamond had a crack. Diamond is a very hard material, but it had a crack. Very difficult for a diamond to have a crack, but this one had. And if it has, it cannot be fixed, it cannot be mended. Very difficult, impossible. And so this king said, I have this beautiful diamond, I love this, but this crack, I just don't like it. And so he announced, can anyone fill this crack? If anyone can fill this, I will give them whatever you want. And so any people came, they tried to mend it, they just couldn't happen. And he kept increasing the stakes, kept increasing the reward for fixing this. And then one day a person came very confidently, my dear king, I can fix this flawed diamond. He said, really? So many people have said that. They've not been able to. I will fix it. Okay, what do you need? He said, just give me the diamond for a few days and I'll give it back to you. So it was given to him. Guards went along with him and he went into his house. After a few days, he came out and then he presented this diamond back to the king. My dear king, here's your diamond. And so the king looked at all places. He couldn't find the crack at all. There's no crack. But there was a beautiful rose that was uh, that was actually embedded in the diamond. And so the king said, "You not only fixed the crack, you also created this beautiful rose, which has amplified the beauty of this diamond. So wonderful." And so they said, "Yes, my dear king, I've done that and more. And now you said you can give whatever I want." He said, "Yes, yes, but tell me, how did you fix it? Because this is just amazing. No one was able to fix it until so far. How did you do that?" The man said, "My dear king, please look very carefully at this. You see the rose?" I said, "Yes, beautiful rose." "You see the leaf of the rose?" "Yes, so beautiful." "Do you see the stem of the rose?" "Yes, I see the stem." My dear sir, my dear king, that stem is the crack. I just created a rose on top of it, and your flawed diamond became the glorious diamond. What do we learn from this? We are all flawed. That's why we are in this material world. We are all wanting to perfect ourselves by connecting ourselves with the perfect being, Krishna. There are flaws which cannot be fixed. But by performing this Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi, we can make a rose out of the flaws that we have and can be offered to our spiritual master, to Guru and Krishna. This Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi provides this particular opportunity to all of us. So let's take this very, very sincerely, carefully, and uh, follow this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. Again, before we ask for questions, it is said that we saw how to break this fast by offering arti, water pot, brahmanas, serving prasad, and then honoring. But and also that one can take water, but only as much as a mustard seed for Achman. And in the evening, one should bathe. If possible, we should perform some kind of a abhishek with milk. Worship the Lord in the evening by bathing him in the milk, and um, say this particular uh, verse while giving the pots of water to brahmanas, and feeding them before breaking one's fast. In Bhari Bhakti Vilas, it is said the mantra that we should chant at that time is Samvatsarasya ya madhye ekadashyo bhavantihi dasham phalam avapnoti putra me natra samshaya iti mam keshava praha shankha chakra gadadhara. O son, Lord Keshava, who holds the club disc, conch, and lotus flower in his hand, personally told me that all merit achieved by fasting on whatever Ekadashis fall in 1 year can be attained by fasting on this one Ekadashi. Of this, there is no doubt. Na atra samshaya iti. This is what is told by Srila Vyasadeva to Bhimasena. And then there is also another quotation. Atmadroha kratastestu yair esha nahi uposita papat mano durachara dushtasthena atra samshaya. Anyone who does not fast on this particular Ekadashi, this Nirjala Ekadashi, they should be understood to be sinful, corrupted, and suicidal person without a doubt. That's not me. That's Srila Vyasadeva speaking in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, and in Hari Bhakti Vilas written by Sri Sanatana Goswami, this also appears. So now we know the glories of Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi and glories of not following, or the not glories, but the disadvantages of not following the Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. But try to understand that all of these vidhi nishedh, they have the essence. What is the essence? We should try to follow the essence and not get so much scared, frightened, or bogged down by the rules and regulations. What is the essence? Smartavya satata Krishna. Vismartavya najatuchit. Actually, the verse says Vishnu. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Vismartavya najatuchit. Always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. Sarva vidhi nishedhasur. Etayoreva kinkara. All the rules and regulations are simply nothing but kinkara, the order carriers of this main principle. All the rules and regulations are order carriers of what principle? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, we can take now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Padma Mataji. You can go ahead with the question.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Pranam.
Now, the whole story was wonderful. It was very important for us to know these things because we never knew. We only knew how to observe this Nirjala Ekadasi. But there's one hitch about offering the water to Brahmin. We can't offer to Karampandi Brahmins. So, which sort of Brahmin should we offer? We have to go to the temple and offer this Brahmin, and even to offer the food, Brahmins will not accept from us. So, can you guide us on that, Prabhuji?
Brahmanas will not accept from us. Why?
Because food cooked from at home, will they accept if we take the temple? Unless we give money to the temple and ask them to feed the Brahmins. That's the other option.
Yeah, that is one option we can do. We can also invite the devotees to our home. I've not heard where devotees, Brahmana initiated devotees also come and they accept prasad at home of other devotees, or a few of the if few of the devotees can get together, organize something so they can come give class on prasadam and give charity at that time in that way. Or as you said, you can sponsor the feast at the temple. That also will fulfill this particular instruction.
Yeah, okay, Prabhuji. So we're clear now. Because from the time you said that, I was thinking how to perform that act. It was not easy. So this is a good alternative. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, Matajis or Prabhujis? Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have a doubt, Prabhuji. Like, how will the forefathers be benefited by performing this Nirjala Ekadashi? I could not understand that.
Krishna says that whatever we do for Shraddha ceremony, that same benefit actually can be uh, got from this. And on top of that, they said that uh, if someone satisfies a qualified brahmana with nice sweets and a donation of cows and money, such a person certainly pleases the Supreme Lord Vasudev, so much so that 100 previous generations in his family, they can go to the Supreme Lord's abode. So forefathers, not just Shraddha, but after, before breaking the fast, if we can serve the brahmanas with sweets and donations of cows and money, but you can say any kind of donations, then that will, because brahmanas are very dear, go brahmana hitayacha, cows and brahmanas are very dear to Krishna. So if we please, especially on the Dwadashi of this Ekadashi, then the forefathers will also be forgiven of all the uh, activities.
Hare Krishna. Practically, what we can do is donate some amount of money for Go Seva and for Brahmanas. That can be done, no, Prabhuji,
Yes,
because we
yes,
cannot do.
yes. Perfect.
So
That's
before
good.
breaking the fast, is it not true?
Yes, that's what it says. Satisfy the qualified Brahmana with nice sweets and a donation of cows and money.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was a wonderful session. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shobha Mataji, you have a doubt?
Yeah, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much for this wonderful class. And my doubt is, Prabhuji, like question, many of our relatives, when I'm telling this about Ekadashi, that they must keep and not at least avoid, they should avoid grains, eat fruits and milk and all those things. But they are like not ready to do this because they are not into Krishna consciousness. They are not ready for this. So Prabhuji, what should I do, or how can I like convince them? Because even after telling many times, they are not ready to fast on this day. So I feel like they would be going to the hellish planets or something. So, for that fear, I don't know how I can help them.
We can fast for them in the sense we can fast and pray to the Lord to please give some benefit of our fast to them as well, who we are concerned about. So that will help them in some way, because we cannot force anyone to fast in this way. At least if you can give them Ekadashi Prasad, maybe if you can give them Dwadashi Prasad also, which is grains, but it is, offered, and uh, all the ceremonies have been done. So that will benefit them at least, that sometime in this life or some other life, they'll be able to get this benefit.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, so
So
much. Thank
if we cannot convince them philosophically to change, at least we can do these things behind the scenes without them knowing. Don't say, oh, this is Dwadashi Prasad, this is this. Just say, this is some food I wanted to give you. This is something I prepared. Please take. It's so nice. Otherwise, if you specifically emphasize, oh, this is this prasad, this will happen to you, that will happen to you, they may get scared also, and they may not take it. But just make it nonchalantly, or you can, if you conduct program on this day and invite them, and you read Srimad Bhagavatam with them, hear and chant with them, that will also give them that benefit of hearing and chanting on Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi. So this way we can at least help them partially get some benefits, which will qualify them, which will inspire them. Maybe the Paramatma is pleased, Krishna will inspire them to sometime take up this process.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much.
Prabhuji, one short question. This in connection to what this Mataji asked just now. When you say the prasad to make on this Dwadashi day, that is after we break fast, or because we have to break fast in the morning, no? There's a certain time given. Or
Yeah.
after that we prepare the prasad. Say, suppose we are making a sweet that is to be given to the, those who are not observing the fast. So what
So
time do you make it?
for breaking our fast, we will cook, right?
Yeah.
So if during that cooking we are making sweet, we are making rice, whatever different things, and offering to Krishna, that prasad, Mahaprasad, or that prasad can be given
Okay.
to them as well.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Before
Thank you so
breaking,
much.
after breaking, whenever, but yeah.
After breaking also it's okay? That's fine?
Yeah. But it's only Brahmanas before breaking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, before or after, whichever your convenience to
Okay,
others.
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Divya Gopu Mataji, you can ask your question, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhuji, with respect to Ekadashi calculation for ISKCON, how is it calculated, Prabhuji? Because mostly, at least in South India, people have a different calendar, I think. Why? Because they keep commenting me saying that, this is not the Ekadashi day, the Ekadashi day already went and all. So I just wanted to understand at least the basic calculation, so it is okay. It will be easy for me to tell them.
I know that there is a Smartha calendar and there is a Vaishnava calendar. So Vaishnava calendar calculations sometimes coincide with Smartha. Sometimes they are like one day later or earlier. But I'm not sure about exactly how the basis of the calculation is. But I know that the Smartha calendar, Smartha Brahmana means those who are focused on rituals, ritualistic processes. And Vaishnava calendar is uh, those who are focused on the essence to please Krishna. So I don't know, I'm sorry about the calculation, how the difference comes to be one day, but we follow Vaishnava calendar because that's how it is. So yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that, on the difference actually, the calculations.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Why? Because this time it was 2 days. If it is 24 hours, it used to be okay, but this time it was 48 hours. It was like 2 days gap. So, in case if you get any answer for this, please also forward us, Prabhuji.
Sure, will
Yeah.
do.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I share something?
Sure, please.
In the morning, early morning, the Tithi should be Ekadasi. That day only we are fasting Ekadasi Vrad.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday afternoon maybe, and the afternoon or in the evening the Ekadasi started. But early morning should be Ekadasi for us. That's what I hear from some of our Gurujis.
Yes, the Tithi should be today morning, today when early morning when the Ekadasi Tithi is there, only that day we have to follow. So yesterday when people are following, but it starts only in the afternoon. But today early morning only this Tithi is there. That's what we also got a confirmation.
Correct.
Prabhuji, I have a small doubt, Prabhuji. Actually, my parents are following Ekadasi and they are doing it for long. They are not Krishna conscious, but as a Vaishnavas, they used to follow everything. But they argue with me that saying that they don't use sabudana, they will have godhum, this wheat dosa or some porridge like tiffins. And they are not accepting my thing that I am saying that we will follow this one, and she is saying that no, for 50 to 60 years I'm following this, and the moong dal payasam, all those things only we used to have. So how to convince them, I don't know.
You're saying that they won't have sabudana?
Yeah, they are saying sabudana is strictly avoided in their culture, it seems, and as that's what she is saying. For 50 to 60 years, we are following Ekadasi, Dwadasi, but we don't take this. We used to take this moong dal payasam or wheat dosa like that.
But if it is grain, then wheat dosa means there is grain, right?
Yeah, but they are saying we used to take this only, so I don't know why you are saying we should not take.
Throughout the south, they
Yeah.
abstain from rice and take wheat, and in some parts of north, they abstain from wheat and take rice. That is how it.
No, rice
has
they
been
will
for
not
long.
take. They will not take rice, but wheat dosa like a tiffin, like they don't eat rice. Tomorrow they Dwadesi they follow.
South India,
No, I
when the
mean,
rice is broken, they say it has no faults. You know, when you break the rice and
Exactly.
upma
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
it, they are okay
Exactly.
with it.
yeah, I mean, we, as long as it is a grain, we avoid grains. That's the standard, whether wheat or rice or whatever. And sabudana, of course, they are saying for a different reason, but I thought they are saying no to sabudana.
Yeah, they say no to sabudana for any function. They say for auspicious day we should not use sabudana. Only other days we can use. In our culture, they used to follow that. That's what she is saying. I don't know how to convince them.
Um, I mean, this seems very specific. Only thing we can convince is we don't take any grains. That is Ekadashi. Ekadashi, we are not supposed to eat any grains. Now, sabudana, there is a controversy that some say it is mixed with rice flour, and sometimes the way it is made, it's not proper. Sometimes mixed with crushed with insects and like that. So that's why the source of sabudana should be very known before we eat sabudana. That's the other thing I've heard about sabudana not eating. But not for the by not eating sabudana, eating grains, that is much more. That's also not allowed because that is the Ekadashi thing. No grains. At least Lord Chaitanya said he followed the same thing. No grains. We can say that in the Puranas it is written that there is uh, Papa Devta in the grains. On Ekadashi day he enters. There is some pastime where he was asked, then where should I take shelter? So then Krishna said, okay, take in grains on Ekadashi day. Take shelter in grains. So on Ekadashi day, no, we don't eat any grains.
Okay, I don't know how to convince. But this point, now you said no, that I'll tell them. Maybe they will get convinced because they are not in ISKCON, but they are pure Vaishnava. They do all the puja. Other things are fine. Only they doesn't have. They are asking me why is the reason we are not using grains. So maybe I'll tell this point. And Krishna will help. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Prabhuji, it's in the Parikshit Maharaja's story about this Papa residing in non-grains. First book of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So that was for greed for gold.
Yes, but this
told.
also.
Achha.
That's what even that's what even I heard, Prabhuji.
Okay, I didn't hear in Bhagavatam. In other Puranas it is said, but Bhagavatam said greed for gold. But also, I'll check if it also in that same pastime does it say about grains as well.
Maybe then I would have heard in lectures, Prabhuji. So maybe.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is it okay to take 2 more questions, Prabhuji?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Prabhuji. Can we take milk, Prabhuji, milk for the God?
See, Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi, it is said no eating, no drinking. It's Nirjala, and which means not even water.
Only not water, but milk.
No. I mean, for Pandava for general Ekadashi, we can take. For Pandava Nirjala, it is not recommended. But if you are not planning to do Nirjala Ekadashi on this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi day, then you can have milk also. But for maximum benefit, Nirjala means not even water. Doesn't mean just no water and everything else you can take.
Prabhuji, milk. I'm asking milk.
So on general Ekadashis, you can take. On Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi, it is not to get maximum benefit, should not take. But if you still want to take, it's okay, to take on this day. You won't get maximum benefit, but you'll get benefit of Ekadashi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can ask your question, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Pranam, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam, Prabhuji. This is my question is, I used to observe Ekadashis in general, almost all. I used to take some morning around 11 o'clock, 1 cup of milk, and then afternoon, 1 or 2 bananas, and then evening, night I take some cucumber. that ends my this Ekadashi in regular courses. Is it right?
Okay. For Ekadashi, it's okay, yes.
Then today I am decided to observe this Nirjala Ekadashi. So what your kind self has told regarding the closure and then giving dana to the Brahmins. So that type of giving charity is not possible at my end. In ISKCON Sheshadripuram, they have sent a message while regarding this this Ekadashi. They have mentioned so many sevas. In that seva, there's 10 Brahmanas Vaishnava Bhojana, 25 Brahmanas Vaishnava Bhojana, and different varieties of sevas were they have mentioned. Regarding this, if we give the charity for the Bhojana, Vaishnava Bhojana, is it pleases? Is it correct?
Yes.
Shall I do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I can fast. And then thing is, tomorrow it is not possible for me to set Brahmins and also give charity. Instead of that, if we give charity to the ISKCON for this particular purpose, then it will be fulfilled.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So I will do that, Prabhuji. I will do that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when we say that we have to give charity for Brahmanas, can we consider Vaishnavas, Prabhuji, because Vaishnavas are more than Brahmanas?
Yes, we can. Yes, we
So
can
that can
consider
be done.
Vaishnavas. But then, if they are also Brahmana Vaishnavas, they're Brahmana initiated, then that is also good. But if not, just Vaishnavas also is good.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful guidance and so much of details and knowledge about Nirjala Ekadashi and guiding us and inspiring us to take up this Ekadashi and fast.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Can I
Mataji.
just one minute? Can I share one point with the one Mataji who raised, even I had that same question, why Ekadashi is not performed on Ekadashi Tithi many times. I had asked one senior devotee and he told me this answer. So can I share that, Prabhuji?
Sure, please.
According to Vaishnava calendar, what that senior devotee told me was, according to Vaishnava calendar, there are 8 Mahadvadashis in a year. That means the Dwadashi that comes after that Ekadashi is very, very auspicious. And for those 8 Dwadashis, the Ekadashi fast is actually performed on the Dwadashi Tithi. That is why sometimes when everyone else is doing on the previous day, most Vaishnavas will do on the next day. That is what he told me. Some stars, they calculate its position of stars. And there are that is what he told me. Whenever we are doing on a Dwadashi, it's Mahadvadashi. That's what he told me, Prabhuji. Just wanted to share.
That is correct. In this particular Ekadashi and Dwadashi are mixed. So that is also a correct explanation. Thank you for sharing that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There is a question in the chat, Prabhuji. How can we help the children, school-going children, to fast on Ekadashi? Even my daughter wants to fast, but she's not able to tolerate hunger sometimes. After she comes back from the school, she wants to eat something. So how can we help them, Prabhuji?
So they can eat fruits, at least non-Ekadashi items. Sorry, at least Ekadashi items. They can have kids. And children below 12, if they do, that's good, but it is not really considered an offense. Above 12, we should encourage them to do. They have some ability to, control the senses a little bit. But otherwise, they can at least do Ekadashi fasting, if not full Nirjala.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hope that answers your question also, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Or Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Advaita
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Pranams for the wonderful class.
Thank you to all. Hare Krishna.
Hare
With your permission, could I end the session, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Thank you, devotees.